Sorry?
Caught fish on yask with these.
Sorry, mate. I missed that. Go on, say again.
Right, this next one. I've caught fish on yask with it.
Right, okay.
On the taff, on the airboat. They love it on the airboat.
Mm-hmm.
They love it on the airboat. See him?
Yep, I do.
It's basically a zonker.
Nice, yeah.
Basically what it is. But it's light, it's easy to cast, and it's bullhead size.
Yeah. So what's that, about 1.5 inches long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, if you want to tie them long, that's the size I use. That's it.
Yeah.
That's on a... Where's my hooks? Lost my hooks. Wherever they've gone. It's on a size 10, size 8 heavyweight Supreme.
Yeah, right. So yeah, okay. So it's like a little minnow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Wes, to me, it's a bullhead. I fish them nice and deep. But I don't just glue the eyes on. I glue the eyes on, and then I, as you'll see, UV them.
Yeah.
So when it's deep and it's hitting through the stones, they don't come off.
Yeah, fair comment.
Because they can come off, don't they?
Yeah, they can.
And by putting the UV on the eyes, building the head up, it gives it a bit of weight. So it does a little dive feel without using lead or copper or whatever else. So there we are. Let me find hooks wherever I've put them. Put them out of the way. Put that out of the way. Marabou's going every bloody where. Right, there they are. Got them. Size 8, heavy Supreme. It depends on what fur you use as well. If you use a rabbit fur, use get a younger rabbit. It's like a 3/4 grown, because its fur isn't so long. Its fur is a little bit narrower. Mink, I find, is too thick. Makes the fly too heavy. And
floats too well.
Yeah. The fox squirrel, that's okay if you want to tie them a little bit bigger. But I use weasel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like you said, with the mink, it does float quite a bit. So we set it in. Put my lighter out of the way and my bits and pieces out of the way. I'm just going to get tangled up. Right. Thread, I'm going to use the same one I used the last one. It's the tan Vinici. Catch on, put an underbody about 3/4 of the way down the body. Come up to the center. Take me dubbing loop tool. Make a loop. Catch it on. Whip finish the silk off, because it'll only get in the way. Pull that aside. We take some glister, Vineyards glister. That's the 2 colors I like.
Yeah.
The tan, and you got the rust. Okay, I like the tan because it's a little bit more goldy. But a bullhead is like a goldy color. So we use the tan. Pull it out. Rip it between your fingers and thumb. Break it up. Like so. Stop a contamination. All right, we take a loop. Open it up. Open up, come on. Just like so. Put your finger and thumb in, or your finger in. Take a pinch, shove it in. Push it up. Take a pinch, shove it in, push it up. Push it up, keep it nice and tight. Just like so. Manipulate it so it sits as you want it. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then just twist. It all pushes together but don't worry about it because you take a comb. Ready, little comb, and just brush it out like so as you're going. Brush it out. Tighten it again. And that's your body ready to be tied in. Okay, now I start at the top of the fly. So just behind where I'm going to be tying the wing in. Okay, go on, work your way down. And it all looks a mess. So about 3/4 of the way down the hook, catch it back on, and up we go. And you think, oh my God, what's this? Like so. Okay, that's enough. Catch your thread back on the hook. Trim it away. Catch the dubbing in. 3. Cut it off. Pull it all back. Make a nice little flat base there. Dubbing needle. Go the dub needle first. Just go in and pull fibers out. So it goes nice and stringy. So it's nice and fat. Yeah, it's like so. Take your time. Get as much out as you want. And now pull it back and brush it. So there's nothing really in the body other than this dubbing. That is it. And when you bring it back, twist it back. You want some of the fibers. Put your finger, if you want to make it a bit harsh and a bit longer, put your finger behind the hook, bring your dubbing needle in and push the dubbing needle against your finger. And what it does, look, it pushes the fibers out more. So there we are. That's our body, spiky and horrible, but fit for the purpose. Synthetic, of course, so it doesn't hold water. So it makes the fly a little bit better to cast, a little bit lighter on the water. Now we go for our weasel.
Yeah.
I think you can buy these at Cooksville. I think he does them. You know, they're not, I don't think they're British, but they'll be American or Russian. Cut it into strips. Like so. What I've done with this one, this is the one I'm going to be using because it's a nice full bit of pelt. I've trimmed the end off. Pull the fibers out. I'm going to cut from the fur to the end about, what, 5 millimeters? And then just give it a little taper each side. So it looks like that. Put it on top of the body. Just behind the eye. Like so. Put one turn to catch it in. Twist it to make sure it sits nice and neat. And then quite a few turns on to secure it. Lash it down. Like so. Now for me, that's a little bit long. So I just go in with the scissors, straight through it, and just cut like so. The fur gives you the length, not the pelt. If you tie the pelt too long, when you're fishing it, it can wrap around the hook. So if you tie it this long, it'll just wrap around the center of the hook and it won't fish, you won't catch anything. If you do it something, you'll probably miss it because the gape is full. So have it just a little bit longer than the bend, the outside bend of the hook, just like that. If you want to tie it bigger, use a longer shank hook because you'll get better results with it. So when we're at that stage, little hackle. And for that, we're going to be using the weasel. Just pull a little bit like so. we're only talking about 3/4 of an inch. Take a petition tool, catch it, trim the waste away, or the bit you don't want away. So we've got 1 inch. Cut the pelt away. So we just left with that. Back to our dubbing loop tool. Catch it, make a loop about what, 3 inches. Catch it on, fold it through. So this time I put the thread behind the vise out of the way. Open your loop, just like so. In fact, I'm going to close that up a little bit more, to be honest. If I catch that on there, that's better. Right. Open your loop tool. Can you see it better that way? Come tight, catch your fur. Give it a little adjust. Just open the fur up a little bit. Okay. And the length of the hackle I'm looking at is not the actual length of the fur now. It's the length of the fur from the tips to the thread. Because this fluffy bit on the outside will be incorporated into the hackle, okay? So just adjust it, take your petition tool and just release the loop a little bit and just touch it in with your tool. Keep it tight. Twist it nice and slowly. Like so. Twist it, twist it, twist it. And this time, before we brush it out, we're going to twist it till it's nice and tight. So it's tight, take your brush, and just lightly brush it. A couple more turns. And that's going to be our hackle. Take your finger and thumb, just brush the fibre like you would with a hackle for a wet fly or dry fly. Just push it back, and now we hackle. So when we're going on, push it back so we're sitting backwards. Come through, right up tight to the eye. Put a few turns. Take our thread back, wiggle it through the fur. Come to the front and catch everything in. Trim your loop away. Pull it back. Now before we tie it off, we take our dubbing tool, we give it a nice little brush to incorporate it in the wing, just like so. Nice and fluffy. Bring it back. Make a nice little neat head. And we'll finish. One on. Another one on. Cut it off and leave it as it is for now. Right. So that's the wing, that's the hackle, that's the body. Okay. Look good?
Tidy.
Yeah, right, good. Right. Take a little sip of water. That was for our eyes. Where's my super glue? There we go. Eyes. I have these through Deer Creek. It sponsors me, so I get loads and loads and loads of these. And I gotta be, I think they're the best around. I really do. Right, all different types, all different colors. Big ones, blue ones, spotty ones. So for this, I'm looking for the littler ones. Where are they? I hope I haven't used them all. No, that should be okay. Right, we'll take a blue one. I hate putting these on because they go sticky and they go horrible. Right, flatten the part where you're going to be sticking the eyes on down, just with your finger and thumb, flatten them down. It's inside the hackle. Okay, take a little blob of super glue. This is the one with the brush. Spot it on. Some people put them on the eye. I prefer to put them on the fur. If you put them on the eye, it sticks on your bloody fingers, it goes everywhere. So put your eye on. Like so. Push him down. It's quite a big eye, this, but it's okay. I like a big eye on a fly. If he looks like that. Go to the other side. Do the same thing, flatten it a little bit. Put a blob on it. Blob. Like so. Another blue one. Yes. On he goes. Push him on. I would normally wait now a few hours for the glue to really set. But of course, because we're on a video, we can't. Right, UV. Where's my builder? This one is from Nick, which is, he's the owner of Deer Creek. He's a sculptor. And what I do is through the eyes, there's a gap. Take your UV, push the ears back a little bit, and just push it in. Dip it in to fill the gap. Leave it settle through the gap for a moment, and then we just set it. I don't leave it too long because I'm going to be using the torch on the other side, so it'll get a little bit more time to set off. Just push the ears back so you don't trap them, you don't lose the movement. Put it back a little bit with a dummy needle and fill the underneath. Push it through. Just let it move. Just, let it go down like so. Push it through. Just manipulate it till it goes through the center of the eyes. It's pretty good. And hit it with the torch again. So basically what we're doing, we're putting the two eyes on and we're encasing it in UV. So when you fish it, they'll never come off. And when you bang fish with them, they're not going to move. Okay, so that's pretty good there. Now we take our diamond fine, which is the finishing one, which I normally use for the heads of flies. And on we go. So we start at the center, and then we just push it all over the eyes, like so, right the way through. Don't get it on the eye of the hook, because you'll never get a line through there. You'll never be able to pull it off, because it sets rock solid. So we've gone through center, above and below, and we've also gone through the eyes. So that is now basically fully encased. And just set the resin with a torch. Turn it in the vise. And that should be it. That should be it. Solid. Solid. So that is the little streamer I use on the rivers. Not hard to tie.
Very nice.
Not easy to tie, but it's effective. It's nice and small. That's one. That's the one I showed you. That's the tan, yeah. No, that's the rust one, and that's the tan. Okay, I think I tied this one on 10, and this one's on an 8. So this one's a little bit bigger. But it's the length. When you do these, this type of fly streamers, you've got to look at the length of the actual hide. If you make them too long, they just spin around them, and they're a nightmare. So that's it. And Tim missed it.